Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as To Liz For You, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry. On Instagram, my post is Knitting in Our Jeans. I don't think I posted anything this week. Not sure why, but I didn't. We did look at a boat this week. I didn't get any pictures from dock side of the boat. I've got 2 pictures from in the cockpit of the boat, but it's a boat that was too short for Richard in the kitchen. And some people would say, well, he doesn't belong in the kitchen, but he likes a kitchen sink, right?
He loves a kitchen sink.
He loves a kitchen sink, so he couldn't stand upright at the kitchen sink. He missed by about an inch, I think. So it was a old boat built in 2003. We are on the hunt for one that's newer, and we're waiting to hear from one of the owners who is supposed to be at their boat's location in North Carolina sometime within the next 3 weeks. So if that boat has higher headspace, then we'll make the trek down to see if it fits the other parameters. So could I have posted? Yeah, I could have, but I don't think it from within the cockpit would have done much for anybody.
Probably not.
Probably not. So what's going on?
Nothing much. I really haven't worked on much this week. There's not a significant amount of progress, but there is progress.
Okay.
And so there's that. I just want to finish this little row. But yeah, work is busy. So I haven't actually I've been very tired when I get home. So the amount of progress I have made on things is minimal. So for the Tamora Pierce stitch, and most of it has been stitching. My knitting has been not what I reached for. And I think it's because I'm at that stage in most of my knitting projects where you don't see the incremental changes. But with stitching, you do. So I've finished all 4 of the books portion. I'm now finishing the Alana the Lioness's shield. And then we'll have her cat Faithful, and then we'll fill in the rest of the pet section of the bookshelf. And then we move down here, which actually the second part of it got released a week ago. So I'm way behind, as we all know. But we still technically have 2 more sections to fill in, so I'm not that far behind.
And isn't there something that goes here?
There's something that goes here.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not that far behind if I've still got 4 more, I've still got 2 more months, I think, to catch up. But I don't know if I'll catch up. But it will get done. It's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
And it is full coverage.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of the reason why it's taking so long. Because each section you're filling in the entirety of the section. I do wish I had been able to finish the frame beforehand, and that.
But part of this frame you had to change when you found this pattern.
Yeah. So
if you'd done the whole frame, it would have been really upsetting.
Well, no, because I would have done the top. I just wish I had done. I wish I had done the top. Is really part of it. So, yeah, just trucking along.
Well, I finished another square.
Oh, my word.
So this is square 10. And you can see it's been blocked to size. So I have 6 more blocks to do. So I will pull a ball of wool out of the bag and do that pattern this week. And we're making some strides here. I have not figured out exactly what I'm doing for the kids' Christmas presents in terms of exactly what toys I'm going to make. But so I know it's here, but it's on hold for the moment. So we will see what happens there. Anything else you want to talk about?
So we're going to I have a wedding I'm going to this weekend. Next weekend.
Yes.
So we might record, we might not. We'll see how I feel after my travels. So I have this dress that I've been making, because the wedding was supposed to be last year.
Yes.
So I had started this dress, hoping and praying and wishing that it was still going to occur last year. It did not. It's the Belladonna dress from they're French, and I can't remember.
Deer and Doe?
Deer and Doe, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's out of a jacquard that I got from Fab Scrap. And it's gorgeous. It has
beautiful.
pockets. I'm really pleased with the dress as a whole. Now I am doing the binding at the armholes, which actually on screen don't look all that, like they don't look like all that different of a black. So that's
Right.
nice.
No, I like it.
It looks, so I'm doing the armholes. You can't really see it on screen, which is nice. The armhole on this side is a little wavy. Because the bias tape is a cotton bias tape.
It's a different weight.
It's a much thinner and lighter fabric bias tape than the jacquard is. So this armhole looks a little bit better
Yes,
in
it
person
does.
and on screen. I think it's because you and I know what's going on here.
Yes.
But yeah, so this armhole looks a heck of a lot better. And I will finish that, and then I will finish that. And I think I will use the same process I did on this armhole for the neckline. But I will do that after I put in
The zipper.
Le Zipper. And it does have a keyhole at the back, so I am going to put in the zipper, and then we will mark where the keyhole needs to cross over, and then bind that, and then hem it.
Does it snap?
No, it's supposed to you're supposed to just put it on over your head.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
So the neck binding holds it together.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
there's supposed to be a little bit of stitching, like, just
Right.
up there within the within the bias tape.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Then you're done.
Then you're done. I
right.
really, really like this pattern. I did make, if you all remember last May, May 2020, I made the wearable mock-up of it. It's a really lovely pattern. I really like it. I could see making more of them. The pockets are really great.
It's a really good looking pattern.
Yeah, so, yeah. And I'm really pleased with this fabric. Hopefully it won't be too warm for it this
Next
coming up
week.
weekend.
It's next Sunday, a week from today.
Well, next Saturday, but yeah.
Next Saturday, a week from yesterday.
Yeah, so hopefully it won't be too warm, and I'll be able to wear it. And if not, I will wear it at a different event.
But at least it'll be done.
At least it'll be done.
Right.
So that is that.
Right.
What else have you been working on? Did you finish anything else this week?
Did I? No.
I don't think you did.
I did not, but I worked on sections.
Oh.
So, I have worked on my other cotton sweater.
Mm-hmm.
This is the SAL Gris.
Okay.
Okay. And we have a front and shoulder seams. Look at that. I love the front. Look at that.
It's great.
It really is. And it is a knit in place with short rows sleeve. And I decided that instead of continuing the sleeve this week, I would work on another project so that there's a little work done on a bunch of them.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm very happy with this. I really like the neckline.
That detail is really lovely.
That detail was very easy to work. So that was fantastic. And it was actually easy to make sure that the both fronts were the equal length. I'm very happy so far with this pattern. I'm finding that the directions for the sleeve are not as clear as they might be.
Okay.
In terms of how you center the sleeve in, because from my reading of it, my sleeve would be skewed.
Okay.
Which I decided not to do. I've done that before
Yes.
and been unhappy. So I have centered the sleeve over the armhole,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how that works. I can always take it out.
Right.
So I will probably finish the sleeve this week and evaluate. If I like the way the sleeve is, then I'll just perhaps do the second sleeve.
Okay.
It's all done in ribbing, a 3-2, so knit 3, purl 2.
Okay.
And I did go down a half a size and the needle. No, I didn't. It looks like I have the same size. I thought about going down a half a size in the needle and decided not to because this is a 2.5, and I thought about going down to a 2, but honestly, I'd rather my arms be a little loose, particularly since I'm working in ribbing, that I decided I didn't need to go down a size. So this is my cotton sweater, and I'm pretty darn pleased. I did go back and weave in some ends, but there will still be some left to work on. So it's still a work in progress, but it's moving along, which is nice. Yeah. What else have you been working on?
So I got a scroll frame. It is not your traditional scroll frame where you sew on the piece. It's more of a tensioned scroll frame, which I did not figure out how to make work until I brought it home because I was like, we're going to fix this so that it works the way I thought it should work. And then it ended up working just fine. So this is the current state of the Cryptid stitch along. I do have to do the back stitching on last week's, and then this week's it'll be here. I was more focused on the frame and getting the frame to work, and also on sewing. Oh, I also was more focused on the Tamora Pierce when I got in last night to here.
Yes.
So that is kind of what's going on.
Well, you've been busy at work.
I've been very busy at work, so that would be also why there's not much progress occurring. So, yeah, just taking it one day at a time, but trying to make sure that everything gets worked on. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Cryptid stitch along. I'm enjoying my stitching right now. I really am. So that's nice, to say the least.
On the other hand, I've got several knitting projects on the go, and I'm trying to get through them so that I can start something new. Because as you know, I always want to start something new. There's some new idea that I have in mind, and I really want to start it. I have a closet full of potential projects, and I'm dying to get to them. I just wish I could knit faster. And then, of course, there's the Stephen West
Knit Along, which starts in 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
3 weeks, something like that. So that's in the back of my mind. So just keeping all of that working.
Maybe that'll get me my mojo back. We'll see.
Wait a minute. There's one. Oh, here. No, it's in my lap. No, I brought up the wrong thing. This is empty. Well, darn! I didn't bring my
Ixchel?
Yeah, my Ixchel.
Do you want me to run downstairs and go grab it for you?
Well, I can run downstairs and grab it. Why don't you talk while I run downstairs and grab it? It's not there. No, it's not that. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Panicked early.
Didn't check all of the bags, y'all.
That's right. We have on my rocker here, I have an arm, and it was on the arm. So the Ixchel, I was feeling that it was unloved. So I decided to work on it rather than the other colorwork sweater that I had started with the Knitrino. I do want to work on that Knitrino this week to get another section done. But I had been doing all of this colorwork. Whoops. Well, I've got a mess here. So anyway, I have this much done. So I have gotten down to the first increase. I now have 240 stitches on the needle. So there are arrows there.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So we're starting the pattern, and then it's in these sections that the increases happen.
Wow.
So it's in the star fields that the increases occur. Now this is 20 rows of a pattern. It doesn't go fast, at least not with me. I think after I do a couple more rows, I'll be able to use the full length of my circular needle, and it will help a bit, because then my increases will loosen up and out. The next big deal about separating the sleeves from the body is another 40 rows.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'll get there this week. I maybe that I switch off the color work. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think this is a little lopsided. It's off a half a row, because this is your beginning and end. So that's the center back, and this is the center front.
Oh, nice.
So, which is really this way. Yeah. And so you can see that when it's all in the same row, it's fine. It's just that when it's off by that half a row, that bump up, that it's a little strange, but I'm sure that will be in the back. It's going well. For some reason, when I started, I found it very difficult, but now that I've gotten some length on it, it seems to be pretty okay. My floats
look very even.
Are pretty even, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So, yes, I secure my float every 2 or 3 stitches. So I only carry over 2 stitches or carry over 3 stitches. I really don't do more than that, because I don't want to get my fingers caught in it when I'm trying to put the sweater on. It would be fun if this was done by Rhinebeck.
It would be.
I don't think it will. Rhinebeck is in, what,
4 weeks?
4 weeks, something like that. 4 weeks. I don't think so. I would have to be working on it full time, and I'm not. So, but we'll see. We will see. And the other colorwork sweater on the Knitrino, I did not touch this week. Because, as I said, doing 2 colorwork things in a week just is a little bit too much colorwork for me. I'm not a colorwork person, really. Yeah. It doesn't. Although I'm gonna like the sweaters. Yes. It's not something that I go, oh, I can't wait. You know, whereas I love cables, I love lace. Those are my go-tos. I too love cables. I think I'm more colorwork than I am lace. Yes, I think that's true. That's true. So those are the 3 things I worked on this week. I got my mom's Christmas present moving along, and I got the cotton sweater joined. So I'm really happy with that, and it should be finished this week, so then I could wear it. Yeah, so that was good. Anything else, my dear?
I've been working away here in my lap. I'm trying to finish the row quickly. On the Kuschelig, Shawl. It's the rectangular shawl with the gradient. Unfortunately, I have misplaced some of my minis. How? I don't know. I don't know where they are. Hopefully they will show up in my apartment somewhere.
Oh my God. I thought you had them all together.
I thought I did too.
Okay.
So I have this one, and then we skip to like number 10, and this one is number 5. So I need to find 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, at least 6, so that you can
keep moving. Yeah. So we'll see. I haven't really worked on my test knit, but I think I'm going to take that and the stitching projects with me this weekend, or this coming up weekend, just because, who knows?
So we probably won't record.
We might not.
Okay, just to let you all know.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on. It's been wild. I've been working like 10, 11-hour dares. And then there was that 12-hour day.
Yes.
So, there's been some knitting, not a lot of it. And most of my time has been stitching. And this past week was finishing up the screwed up, stitch that I did on last week's Stitch Along that I pointed out to you all. And then also I finally gave in and ordered the frame, and now I figured out how the frame is supposed to go.
Now, why did you want that instead of one of those Q-locks?
Because I wanted to try something different.
Okay.
And also because this, you just have to roll up and down. I don't have to really reposition it
Right.
every time
Right.
that I want to move something. So, like, now I could work on the border, or I can scroll it down and work on the next Cryptid that was released,
Mm-hmm.
and then scroll it back up and work on the border, because I do want to work on the border a bunch.
Okay. I like it. It's really looking good.
Yeah, I think it'll be very, very good. And I was worried that I had cut it too close on this end, but from what I can tell, the pattern is only supposed to be 11 inches wide. So I have
I think you're good.
enough. At least I think. It's supposed to be, I think, 199 divided by 30. No, that's 6 inches. Something's wrong here. Let's look up what the stitch count is. Also, because if it's 30, it's by 15, so it would be by 12. If that's the case. Let's see what the frame says. What the frame pattern says, because I left all the paper patterns downstairs. So if it would just load. But, so if it's 199 stitches wide divided by 15, because it's a 30 over 2, it'll be 13 inches.
You just make it.
I don't think so. Something's wrong here.
All right. Well, you'll figure it out.
30 count. No, it's 199. Oh. It is. Somehow I saw that it was 11.
Well, you're not going to run out of scrim.
No, it's just going to be short on one side.
So it'll have to be a frame that goes from here to there.
Or when I frame it, I will have to just pull more on.
Yes.
I was trying to have an equal amount around for that. That's interesting.
Dyslexia strikes again.
Yeah. Well, so you see it says finished size there.
Yes, but it must be 11
then,
inches tall.
No. But then here it says that.
You're right. That says 13 inches.
It does. I agree. So I'm trying to figure out
Where you got it from?
what it's saying. So 199 divided by 11 is 18. So that's calculated as a 36 count. That's what it is. Okay.
I have no idea what she's talking about. So anyway,
Yep.
I was going to work on my Hohe sweater today because that's a straight stockinette stitch. But Elizabeth and I bought a Dean and Bean
Yes, we did.
circular sock machine.
A while ago, and we've had it for a while. We just haven't really played with it yet. So,
Right. So I decided today was the day to open the box up again, as Elizabeth had opened it.
and I realized that it was something that we should probably work on together, not me figure it out and then show Mom how to do it, just because it's going to take being set up in one spot probably better than set up one spot here and one spot at the apartment.
Right. Because it is portable.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 clamps, and we found out today, to my surprise, that it doesn't fit on my dining room table because my dining room table is bull-nosed. So while it's a very thick table and a very sturdy table, the clamps for this circular sock machine would not hold it on the table. In fact,
And even though the clamps,
shooting off.
The clamps are pretty deep too. It's just the bullnose is
Deep also.
Yeah.
It would work on my desk table here because this is a ½ inch thick and it's an absolute rectangle. So I have very straight corners on this, and what it wants is very straight corners. So right now we have it set up on the TV table.
Yep.
Which is a rectangular wooden table, and it's holding...
It's like for TV dinners kind of table.
But it's wood.
Yeah.
It's about a ½ inch thick.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's holding very, very well. So then we got the armature set up on it correctly.
Yep.
And then I watched how they talked about winding a cone I'm not sure that I'm going to try that way of winding a cone. In fact,
Using a power drill.
Yeah, I can guarantee you I'm not doing that. I will explore using an already caked ball of yarn or a hand rolled ball of yarn so that I know it has no kinks in it, and then winding it onto a cone. Because when the Erlangers and the other original circular sock machines were started, there was no power drill. So there's no way they wound those cones.
We also have some very powerful power drills, and
Right.
so
I don't want to use a Makita to be able to wind my yarn. I have a feeling it would run away with me, especially at the beginning. So I'm going to try hand winding a cone where I can take my time and make sure that my pressure, our tension is even. And we'll see how that goes.
maybe you'll take a video and post it on Instagram.
Oh, that's a little too advanced for
Okay.
me. I can do pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
I don't take videos on Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll work on that for y'all.
We'll work on that.
Because I don't know if we'll be bringing it upstairs to show you all.
No, but I could show them the cone.
Yes.
I mean, I can always, if the cone works well, then
Yes.
I can wrap another cone.
Yes.
That's not a problem. I have a feeling
Yes.
these cones will be wrapped by hand, but we'll see.
Yes.
I have a machine that will wrap or wind the shuttles for weaving,
the bobbin shuttles.
the bobbin shuttles. But I think that piece of metal is integral to the winder, and I don't think I can take it out.
Yeah.
And so I don't see that. I think strapping the other piece
I
of
was
metal,
gonna say we could do that, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would work.
because it'd be off center.
Yeah.
I think winding it by hand will be the safest, and we'll see how that goes. I don't see a problem with going off the ends because I certainly can wind it by hand so that I'm not over or closer to the end than 3/4 of an inch. So that is my plan there. Then we got held up because it says mark your cartridge or cylinder with fingernail polish. There's no polish on these fingers. The only polish I have is clear to fix runs and stockings.
And I didn't realize we were doing this weekend, so I didn't bring any nail polish.
So we ran off to Walgreens and we got 3 different colors of nail polish, which is what you need or what is suggested for marking the cylinder. And we will mark that, I guess, this coming week and report back. And I will hand wind a cone.
Yay!
So then we will see how well that does. So if that
Are you going to hand wind a cone and try to cast on?
Well, no, because we won't have marked the cylinder.
I thought we were going to mark the cylinder tonight.
Well, if we mark the cylinder tonight, then I will try casting on.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. It should be very interesting. So I worked a good 2 hours on that this afternoon.
Yeah, I'd say an hour and a half. I don't want to admit that the 2 armholes took me 2 hours.
Oh.
So.
Well, somehow I lost an hour.
I
this
know, we
afternoon.
lost. Well,
we walked over to Walgreens.
We did walk over to Walgreens.
So got some exercise in, picked up the stuff we needed at Walgreens, so that was part of it.
Yeah.
Somehow there was an hour that I thought I had this afternoon, and it disappeared.
Because we were thinking we were leaving at 4, not 3:30. That was probably
I
it.
guess there was a small get together over at the boat club for after the racers, and the Commodore had run into me at the grocery store. Said, "You're coming, of course, aren't you?" I went, "I don't know what you're talking about." She says, "Oh well, Richard doesn't tell you anything." I went, No, he doesn't. So, she said, "Well, I'm inviting you myself." So I had to go. It was very nice. We saw friends of ours, Ed and Mary, who we only see there, unfortunately, but they're great fun and full of pithy comments.
Yes.
And Mary is quiet, but boy, when she has something to say,
she's great.
It's important.
She's great.
So I was glad we got to see Mary and Ed. The others we see more frequently.
Yes.
Yes, and we have a friend of ours, George, who keeps trying to tell my husband to go big or go home. He says, don't be a skinflint. Don't be stingy.
Don't skimp. Don't skimp.
So he's trying to, he's the one that looks out and finds the largest yachts in the harbor. It's
Your
like,
largest catamarans, and
you
says,
need to
"Oh,
buy
I
that."
think that's your new boat."
So we as I said, we did go and look at a catamaran this week. I was impressed by the basic model. As I mentioned, there is another one that is up for sale, and we are hoping to go see it when the owner gets there from their winter home, that he measures or shows on a yardstick or some kind of measuring rule that someone who is 6'1" can stand in the kitchen. So if that happens, then we will fly down to where the boat is and look at it. And it's in the water, so we should be able to take it out for, if not for a sail, at least for a motor. Because it was while motoring that we found out that my looking through the sea wind front windows made me seasick. Mm-hmm. So it's important that I be able to drive this boat and not get seasick.
Yeah.
The boat has full canvas, if wanted, zippers all over the place. It actually has heat, so that you can leave the saloon door open and heat will go into the cockpit so that you can be out in 50-degree weather and not have to wear your polar vest or anything else. So that really, to me, is very nice. Yeah. Whereas some of these other boats are very much summer boats. And because when you look at where the steering seat is, there is no way that you're going to get heat there. And for us, the hurricane season is over the end of November. It used to be November 1st. Now they push it to the end of November. November here is cold, and it means you'll be really working hard for 2 hours to keep warm. Whereas if I was in a cockpit that had some heat, that would work out a whole lot better. So we'll have to see. What else?
I was going to say, did you talk about what you're working on in your hands?
Oh, this is my sock. This is my travel sock. It's just something I can work on without looking at it.
It looked bigger than your normal sock. That's why I just asked.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just a sock. It's the one that Munchkin saw me knitting and thought she would try to knit too. My grandniece,
Munchkin.
And she's over there going, this. Her boyfriend thought she was trying to fight, and she goes, no, she's watching my mom.
I sent the photo, and it's a live photo, so you press and hold, and it has a little video, and she's going like this, and he goes, oh, she's ready for a fight, and I was like, no, she's knitting, and he was like, that too,
yes,
that too, and I was like,
she came up and sat next to me, and was watching me avidly, and then she's making those motions with her hands, and I said, when you get to be 5, I will find you some yarn, and I will get you your own needles, and I will teach you. Not a problem. But we have to wait until you're 5, because I think that's a safety factor. Anyway, she was cute as a button.
Always is.
Always. And so that's fantastic. So other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot new. We are working on the Dean and Bean. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more progress to talk about next week with the Dean and Bean.
So far, we really like it. For the price point, it's
amazing,
unbeatable, really.
Amazing.
I do acknowledge that there will probably be more of a learning curve to it than, say, if we had gotten an Erlbacher.
You think so?
I mean, I think so,
because about Erlbachers too.
Okay. I mean, so there's a learning curve with every machine. Yes. I have heard that this is a bit steeper of a learning curve, but I'm still very excited just because of the price point. It is way more accessible, and they have interchangeable cylinders. We ended up getting the 64 because I tend to wear a 64 stitch sock. Mom tends to wear a 60 stitch sock, but because also your machine knitting sock might not always be the same as your hand stitching sock. Right. We decided to go with the 64 because it's kind of that mid-level, and if we decide we need something with more stitches, we can get the 72, and if we decide we need something less, we can get the 60 or the 56, or no, I think it's 60 and 48. So we get the 48 for DK weight as well, so one, also don't go out and look up the Dean and Bean and expect to be able to purchase one right now. They are on a 2-week hold because they are completely revamping their manufacturing since they have designed, tested, and are about to release their Ribblr. So, which comes with an update to the base machine, so that they're like you can use the same base machine.
Mm-hmm.
With the older machines, yes, I mean like this machine is only as of 2021, so we have one of those. But it's not like it's 2 years old. You know, it's less than a year old. Those machines we will be able to receive to get whatever the upgraded piece is that we need
For the Ribblr.
for the Ribblr in order to use the Ribblr if we decide to get it.
Well, I think if we're making socks.
If we're making socks, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think we figure out first how to make tubes, and then we can
go from there.
Figure out our preferred sock size.
Right.
Because I think with a machine knit sock, the difference between your hand knit 60 and my hand knit 64 isn't going to be as I think we'll probably be able to wear the same, but we'll see.
We'll see.
I am very excited about it. I know you're very excited about it. But yeah, just wanted to point that out.
It's something we need to work on together.
Yes, even if it's like today where I'm working on the dress and you're working
in the same room.
Yes.
So that we can look at this. So what we're up to is marking the cylinder. We get the marking right, and it depends on how you're looking at it. I mean, from where I was standing,
I think
the direction and it.
I think we read the website and look at the videos, but yeah.
So, we don't want to be flying by the seat of our pants. We definitely want to follow as closely as possible
the recommendations
and suggestions. Best practice suggestions from other users that have already set it up, so that we can avoid problems as we set ours up. So going slow is okay with me. Yeah. Because I'd rather understand the machine and its mechanics than just trying to willy-nilly get a sock on the machine and finding I'm jamming the machine. So I don't want to do that. So the next step is to...
Oh, well, we did start to make also, you have to have soft weights to put inside the sock. So I was like, well, I hadn't bought the BBs because I wasn't sure whether we wanted to buy BBs or if we wanted to buy something else to use for that or if we had something around the house. I just wasn't sure. And Mom goes, we have pie weights and we can't eat pie anymore, so they're no use to us. So we made
two soft weights.
One is a
half pound. The other is 3/4 of a pound.
Okay.
Because I ran out of pie weights.
We need to get little tags to write that on them so that we know.
They're socks. We can write right on them with fabric pens.
Okay.
Or even indelible pens.
Or just permanent marker.
Yes. So I made 2 soft weights.
They suggest to make a half pound, 1.5 pounds, and 2 pounds?
2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds.
I ran out of pie weights, so I've ordered more pie weights so that we can make however big a soft weight that the full can of pie weights will allow us, and then we'll see where we go from there. The soft weight that has the 3/4 of a pound can have weights added to it.
Okay.
Because that is only tied. The one that's a half a pound is actually sewn together because I knew it was exactly the right weight. So I sewed that so that the pie beads cannot come out. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to leave that one as is. The one that has 3/4 of a pound can have 3/4 of a pound more added to it, and that can be a 1.5 pound. And then we can see if we need more.
We probably will need
for
more.
2.5. But I can, I thought about buying the BBs, but when I looked at buying the number 10,000 BBs, they weren't going to be delivered until November.
And that is just too long for us to wait.
And obviously that's fine for hunting season, but it's not good if you're using them for weights. So then I looked at buying a lesser quantity, but then I didn't know the weights of a lesser quantity, and I thought, this isn't good. Mm-hmm. So then I went with pie weights.
Well, and if we figure out that the pie weights make too large of a weight, we can always get BBs
Yes.
and replace, and
Yes.
make other
Yes.
soft weights.
But we would only have to buy probably a small amount,
Right.
Because if you're using the 2.5 pound weight,
right.
it's it's a larger
Right.
amount
So we can
anyway.
figure.
Right.
It's more of making sure that it can go through the machine.
Right.
Is what I'm
Right.
thinking.
I think so far we're okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that is.
So we are working on that, and hopefully I'll have an update of some kind next week, if not the week after.
Yeah.
So since we're not sure whether we're recording next week or not.
We'll figure it out.
Because I'm going to be singing at a concert. First of all, they're singing at church. Yes, choir has started. So I've been going to choir practice. We are wearing the full singer's masks, so we look somewhat like ducks.
Yes.
And they're hot. I mean, to be honest, they're cloth, and they stand out. But if any of you are in a choir, you know what I mean. That it's hard to catch breath, and you are very
Yes.
wet under here. You're sweating like a clown because you're working so hard. It's going to take a little while to get used to this. Our paid soloists are already used to this because they've been singing all summer with these singers' masks. And I'm glad we have them because it allows us to have a live choir rather than recorded music. So that's nice. And there is a concert next week for our choir master as he is retiring. And I will be involved in that. So that's it at 4:30. So I'll have a long day. So I have a feeling that we're not going to record next week. But if we do, bonus. Yep. So anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. We'll keep you posted.
We'll talk to you all later.
Bye.